Hey, welcome to the show.
Ayo.
How we doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Kale, how are you?
Kale-tastic.
Kale-tastic. All right.
How are you, Molly?
Well, we're doing all right today.
All right. Good.
Very good. Glad to have you on.
Thank you.
You're not
We're
welcome.
excited.
I'm not. I'm kidding. I am.
Kale, come on now.
She knows
How do you
I'm
feel?
joking.
How do you feel first time being on?
A little nervous. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little nervous.
That's normal. That's normal.
Yeah.
This is only the second interview really we've done.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the other ones were just like people just joining that we know. I
Yeah.
mean, not like we know you
Right,
anyway,
yeah.
so.
Yeah,
I
you've never met me before.
I don't know you.
That's
No.
nice.
But yeah, it's just, you'll be a little nervous at first, but you'll settle in once we start talking about stuff you're comfortable talking about. Molly is a former personal training client of mine. She's a current personal training staff of mine. But above all that, she is one of my best friends, and I'm really happy to have her on today. Kayla, you want to do a quick recap of the last episode?
Yeah, we talked about trucks.
I learned a few things. I kind of absorbed some information from you and Keaton.
What'd you learn? Don't care.
Can't think of anything right off the top of my head, but I mean, it was just interesting. You know, it was outside of my realm of knowledge.
Sitting in my garage right now, my Lamborghini.
I'm more knowledgeable about muscles.
Oh, did you not send her the video?
I think I did.
The
That
moose,
Instagram.
the moose glass
yeah,
one.
Yeah.
I saw it
did.
last night
And
before
I
I went
must
to
poop
bed.
and I must go to sleep. Ah, yes, the dreams.
I'll have to add it on to the thing.
Yes, I am growing very strong. My muscles are getting bigger. Yes, the sleeping times. Oh, sleep so many dream. Now it's time to pump the muscles.
That's fucking hilarious. I was sitting there like, no, do I send it to the boys or just send it to Sam? I'll send it to Sam. Whatever. Muscles.
Yeah.
Pump you up.
That was really funny. I actually laughed out loud when he sent me that. I'm like, I got to send this to Molly too.
Yeah, I watched that in the locker room today. I opened my phone and I laughed out loud as well. Sat there repeating it. Moose glass.
We did a
Muscles.
little strongman sandbag workout. That was fun.
Yeah. That was something, I'll tell you.
How was your week, Molly?
It was good. Yeah, it was
Good.
good. Very busy.
Yeah.
Very busy.
Well, the weekend before we were hanging out, huh? Yeah.
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 That's
Technically.
right. Yeah. That's true.
You were asleep.
Yeah. I
Typical
wasn't
Sam.
hanging out.
Typical Sam.
I fell asleep. Totally.
I called it.
I woke up
sleep.
at like
did
2
call it.
a.m. and I was like, shit, I totally missed that. I messaged the group, apologized. And then I was like, yep, I was asleep. And Molly thought I was mad at her, but I wasn't. I just fell asleep and wasn't really in the big drinking mood.
That's, actually, I kind of didn't want to work out at all. So when you were like, nah, I'm going to work out later, I'm like, fuck it. I'm going back to sleep.
The wine got the best of her.
You had too many glasses.
The wine.
Julian! I don't know where I felt like I get a little drink around here, do you, bud?
Yeah.
I like wine.
I do declare this here is a fine wine.
It's just it's kind of similar to squinch, you know. It's kind of
Yeah,
got
don't
that
be
fruity
bashful
taste.
now.
Don't be
Go
bashful.
get yourself
Don't
some
be-
squinch.
Don't be hating on squinch.
Don't be bashful now. Right? You know, so I only had a couple. I only cared more about the cigar. I'm just bullshitting, really.
Yeah,
It was one of those kind of weeks.
yeah.
Yeah. Sam, you want to tell them what the title of the episode is?
Lightweight, baby.
Lightweight, baby!
As
She's like, what? Sure.
as originally said by the great Ronnie Coleman.
Yep.
Ted lifted, or he squatted 800 pounds and
Yeah.
squatted 800 or squatted and deadlifted 800 pounds.
Oh, you could do that in your sleep. You could probably do that in your sleep.
Nah, I'm close.
You're going to make him look like he's not even lifted at all.
All right. Better start injecting some roids. Better start getting on that train.
I think it's actually more admirable that you're that close to his numbers. Natty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
honestly.
I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah.
No offense to Ronnie Coleman.
He was also getting your 300
He's gonna
pounds
figure out where
shirt.
you live.
But I think
What'd you say to me, motherfucker?
he did it for like reps though too. He's a freak of nature.
Nah, you'll
Yeah.
get there.
Sam, you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's get into today's topic. So we're talking about just basically asking you questions about yourself, what you do,
Your career.
what you're passionate about. Yeah, your career. That's pretty much the name of the game today.
Yeah.
Um,
Our second interview
yeah.
in a row.
Do we want to start? You want me to start with my questions?
Yeah, go for it. Well, we could just like back and forth, kind of like take turns at it. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
Kind
sure.
of, it kind of helps it make it go a little longer.
Yeah, it'll be fine. All right. So, Molly, how far back does your fitness journey take you? What was the first original thing that got you into like wanting to pursue a fit, active lifestyle, and like bring up like any key moments? Briefly describe like any key moments along the way.
Jesus, there's a lot to unpack in that question. So, originally started in high school or junior high, even with cross country. Ooh, running.
Cross
The
country.
worst
Yeah.
sport. The worst high school sport.
Yeah, my mom was like, "You have to do this. You would
Yeah.
love it." And so I did it because I was told to do it. And after the first day, I was like, "What the front door did I sign myself
You can
up
cuss.
for?"
crazy.
You can cuss.
Okay.
It's crazy
so-
because nowadays, knowing you, I would have never pictured you to be a cross country runner. I would have pictured you to be like that one girl who goes out for football or something.
Yeah, no. If I was then who I am now, yeah, I probably would have been. But at that time, I was 90 pounds soaking wet, and I wanted to stay that way. And
Oh, how things have changed.
yeah,
Or-
and then I started, following people on the internet. And at the time, I think it was just like Facebook and Vine.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, I
Vine-
remember.
Vine was
Yes.
a
The
thing.
OG
I remember
TikTok.
Yeah,
Vine.
OG
yeah.
TikTok.
So
Okay.
at that time, everybody was like, "This is how you get big," and I'm like, "Hey, I wouldn't mind that." So I would go lift, and then I'd go run 5 miles, and
Yeah.
and it wasn't until after I had my daughter that I was like, you know what, I want to be an absolute beast, and if I'm
Mhm.
gonna die, because I almost died giving birth, I'm gonna make sure that I die having done what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So
Heck yeah.
that's when I met Sam, and things really kind of took off from there.
And then you met me along the way, and then here we are.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
somewhere in there, cardio just kind of fell off the wagon almost entirely.
Yeah. Well, actually, you met my wife before you met me.
That's true.
That's
That's
kind
true.
of the funny part.
Yeah.
So,
You met his wife before you ever met me.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about,
Yeah.
actually.
That's part
Fucking
of that.
Maya.
I've messaged you about it before, but that invisible string theory is you meet people when you're supposed to meet them. The universe has it pretty much dictated when you're supposed to meet people. And
Yeah.
the number
Yeah.
of times that I could have met Sam along the way,
Yeah.
because we both went to Northeast and around the same time.
Yeah.
And then, the happenstances that would have happened, but we just weren't supposed to meet until we did. And I think
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Thank God.
At the right time. Perfect.
Yeah. So, like, my question is, I'm kind of, well, not really a question, but I think it's kind of funny that your mom's like, "Yeah, you're going to go for cross country." Not none of the typical sports for females in high school. You're going out for softball. You're going out for volleyball. You're going out for basketball. This is cross country. We're not doing any other sport. And you're like, sure. But this thing is funny.
I know, knowing your mom, if you would have been a boy, she would have totally made you go out for football because that lady loves football.
Football.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm actually kind of shocked about it too. Honestly, that cross country was the one that she pushed for. Especially at the time, my asthma was far less under control than it is now, and so I would run with the team with my inhaler in my hand because I'm like, I don't want to die.
I can only imagine. Hold on, guys. Man, that must have sucked. I ain't gonna lie.
So it all
I just
started
don't-
with cross country.
Yes, and I frequently placed like last. So that's how fast I was.
That's why we move on from
Yeah.
stuff like that.
That's when it's like, yeah, I'm quitting. That's it. Don't worry. I did about the same thing with wrestling in high school. After the first practice, running from the high school all the way up to the middle school, back down Riverside. I'm like, yep, that's it. I'm done. That's it. Sorry, Coach Gray. Respect you, but nope.
Well, I
can't do
know
it.
a lot of people did that. They just went out for that for the preseason conditioning,
Yeah.
and then they quit.
Yeah.
Like they do the conditioning preseason to get in shape, and then they just wouldn't actually do the actual sport wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of strange back then.
Yeah. So I have a question too here. What? Tell me about the three most. You son of a bitch. Tell me about the three most influential people in your life and how they impacted you.
What a question.
Yeah, I know, right?
I have to pick 3 of them.
It doesn't have to be like.
Shoot. Okay. You know what? I think first and foremost, I'm going to say my dad. He is altruistic and I admire that. Just being willing to do something for somebody at the drop of a hat, whether you have the means to be helping them or not, is, in my opinion, very admirable.
Mm-hmm.
And that I try and take with me wherever I go.
Yeah.
I would say that I'm gonna lump them both into one, both of my in-laws. There was a time when we were my then boyfriend, now husband.
Yeah.
Where we were supposed to, his mother handed us a tube of caulk. She goes, "You need to caulk the bathroom before you can go to the zoo." we were like 14, 15. We've never caulked anything in our lives.
Wow.
And I'm just sitting there watching Shane figure out how to do this. And we get to the outskirts of Omaha, and she calls and she goes, "This is a terrible job. You're not going to the zoo. Come back." And we're like, whoa, wait a minute. We just got here. So no, we had to turn around, and we came back, and we pull into the driveway, and he goes, "This is mine to deal with. You just go home." I'm like, okay. So I let him out, put the car in reverse, and I go to turn around. She stops me and she tells me to get out. I'm like, oh God, here it comes. And what she said to me that day has stuck with me ever since. And she said, no matter what you do in your life, whether you've done it 1 time or 1,000 times, that has your name on it. And that is the only thing that you can take with you wherever you go, is your name. So you better make sure it means something.
Damn, that just hit me in the heart. Damn. That was, wow. Damn, good thing I'm drinking a beer. Damn. Wow. I was not ready for that one.
Yeah.
It's true though.
Yeah, that's a good analogy right there. Like, honestly.
No matter how much it hurts, having those two, both his mom and his dad, they really pushed me to be a better person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that.
For sure.
Yeah. And so then person number 3, I would think, is sitting right here. Sam continues to push me to be stronger and a better version of myself.
Debatable.
Every day.
No, I'm kidding.
I appreciate that.
Debatable. No, I'm kidding.
That's the whole reason we do what we do, though, is to impact people's lives in a positive way. So I appreciate that.
Even today, you're still pushing me to pick up that stupid sandbag. That thing is heavy.
He pushes me a lot too, so I know what you're talking about. But what's crazy is like a lot of like Daniel, we were talking about it during powerlifting meet.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I used to lift more than him at one point.
You're talking about Daniel Hollis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someday he'll be on here, but at one point when he was starting to get more in the lifting, I actually lifted more and deadlifted more than Sam a little bit.
Yeah. He had that big boy strength,
So, and then I moved and then I got fat.
Yeah, no, good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
It was a great time. And then, I'll never forget when we got done lifting one night and we went to go pick up Chris. And we were done working out, all sweaty.
Yeah, we're in our workout clothes.
He's all dressed up just to go to IHOP when we had IHOP at the time.
Yeah.
He's like wearing nice cologne and everything. We're like giving him shit for him. Like, why are you wearing this stuff?
He was like wearing like a nice polo, like designer jeans, and we're like sweating, wearing our gym clothes. We're about to go get IHOP. And he's like, "Man, I'm always gonna look fresh."
I always gotta look fresh, man. I miss Chris for those moments. Like that was
hilarious.
Yeah,
it
and
was.
I know Isaac probably if he watches this, he'd probably laugh at that one too.
Oh yeah,
Shout
totally.
out to La Perla Loca.
Yeah.
So
what was I guess you already kind of touched on what your primary reason was for wanting to start working with a personal trainer and get into powerlifting was because to show your daughter that like she can do anything she wants and be strong. Like it's good for women to like be physically strong, and you can do whatever you want, you know, as long as you work hard and put your mind to it. What made you trust me to handle your coaching and programming? Because I was also still pretty inexperienced in the sport at the time. I'd only done 2 sanctioned competitions under my belt. You were actually my first powerlifting client. So describe that situation to me.
I didn't know that you had only done 1 or 2 at that time.
Yeah.
So
Surprise, shot
I thought I had told you when.
you know, you may have this. It's been a minute.
It's been a few years.
So I will say, you were big, and I felt like I could trust that you maybe knew what you were talking about. I will also add that we were very wrong when we first started getting ready for that competition, because I don't know if you remember this, but we were talking about how the lights were done.
Yep.
And we thought initially that each light was for something different.
For each judge.
Each judge
right.
was judging something different about each lift. And so I was like, to heck with it. I don't need to hit depth on squat.
Right.
So of course I DQ'd out of that first meet for not hitting depth.
Yep.
On anything.
So
you know what? That how did,
but like, obviously you've stuck with the sport. So how did DQing out of your first meet, how did that affect your mindset? You were like, did it more so get you down, or did it more so motivate you to be like, I'm going to get this down and I'm going to, you know, medal or whatever at my next meet?
So I'm really proud of myself for this one. I'm kind of dense sometimes. And so that first meet, I actually didn't know that I had DQ'd out, even though I red lighted everything. I just thought I placed poorly. So I was going to finish the meet, and they're like, hey, if you're going to leave the meet early, make sure you talk to the judges or whatever, the head judge, before you leave, in case you medaled. And so I'm like, okay, so I'm going to go do that because I don't want to sit through awards. And they're like, you DQ'd out, man. I'm like, oh, well,
all right,
that sucks. And then I would move forward with I'm not going to do this only once and then have the only time I do it be DQ'd out. So at that point, it was just determined to do it again.
Sure. But you know, you understand, like some people would be like, oh man, this sucks. I DQ'd my first one. I'm never doing this again. But you had that different mindset. And you didn't DQ, you didn't bottom out on bench and deadlift, did you? Just squat.
Yeah. I white lighted everything else. It was
just squat. Because I remember that was our biggest like problem when we first started, was your squat depth.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. What has kept, so like outside of that, what has kept you in the sport? What has inspired you also to become a certified personal trainer yourself?
I kind of always wanted to do it. I know that we had kind of talked about this in the past too, where I wanted to, and I got talked out of it. You know, we're in the Midwest, we're in a really small area. There's no money in it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I guess the older I've gotten, the more I'd rather enjoy my life than actually do the stuff that I do to make a bunch of cash. So yes, cash is great, but I'd rather change lives and help people do what I did to lose all that weight and then to gain a bunch of strength and help show people there is a path to that.
You're making an impact.
Money will never buy happiness. I always tell that to people. It will never. Like,
you're not only making an impact on, you know, your clients, you're making an impact on the community, because everyone sees it.
Yeah.
You know,
and I mean, you're always with him. People see it too. You know, like every time I bring up Sam, they be like, oh, he works out with Molly, or like, oh, I know Molly too. Or
vice versa.
I'm like, yeah, she's awesome. She does, you know, pretty good what she does.
What is your favorite thing, your number one favorite thing about competing in powerlifting?
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
You can name a few different things.
You know, it's been an option for me to do a push pull with my knees being kind of out for right now.
Right.
But there's nothing quite like the feeling of an extremely try hard squat. Like when you come out of that hole on the heaviest squat you've ever done, there's nothing like it.
You feel like your eyes are going to pop out of your head.
Yeah. There's not a feeling like it. There ain't a feeling like it.
Non-powerlifters are listening to this like, what the heck are they getting off on?
To be honest, when we used to work out together like years ago, back to that time we were talking about earlier,
yep,
I would always like find a perfect part of a song to
Yep.
like
Hype
pull
you up.
on. Like if it's like on say ironically 5-finger death punch, and there's one song
I
it's like
remember that.
he's like I'm like pulling up.
I remember that.
That just fucking
Every time you were about to do like a max out set, he'd be like, hold on, I need to put on my 5-finger death punch song. I'm like,
Well,
all right, okay,
but
whatever you
that's
gotta
when,
do.
That's when they played their harder music at
Yeah,
the time.
yeah.
I just now because like ever since I've been hanging out with you, I listen to more music that probably people would not like. That where they're screaming, you don't know what they're saying.
Right.
But it's like it just gets you fucking pumped
That's
up.
a lot of the type of music they play at powerlifting competitions.
Well, the
Though.
last one they didn't really play good music. I'm not gonna lie.
They played some.
It was all right, but it wasn't
played
great.
some.
I don't know what you thought, but the music choice.
It's either like heavy metal or like old school rap usually.
Yeah.
Or like
'Cause
they
last time-
threw in some like random techno shit in there too.
Yeah, that's I'm not.
If you go back onto my Instagram and you watch it, I want to say it's one of my deadlifts. There's like a Nicki Minaj or Cardi B that starts when I'm gonna do my deadlift, and I'm like, oh my god, this is what I'm gonna deadlift to right now.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's good, but that's just not deadlift music.
No.
So my question is what is the biggest challenges that you face in your career and the powerlifting stuff?
As a competitor or as in my career?
Both.
Okay. In my career as a personal trainer, and as even as a coach, I think Sam can even agree to this, is getting your clients to adhere to the plan. Because there's only so much you can do. You know, you can't follow them around and tell them that's healthy and that's not healthy.
Like micromanage them.
Yeah,
Right.
and you can't follow them around and be like, hey, psst, if you only go 2 days a week, it ain't gonna do much.
Right.
Yeah. Don't be eating that damn Snickers now.
It's a Saturday, you should still go.
Yeah, or like
Sunday? Who needs church? You got the gym.
Well,
Sorry.
it's just disappointing because then they'll come up and they'll be like, God, I'm not making any progress. I'm like, well, what are you doing outside of just me? And they're like,
right.
static silence. I'm like, that's
Right.
that's
Yep.
you know,
Right.
that's part of it. If you want it, you want it. You
I
gotta
mean,
want it.
you know Scott, everyone
Yes.
at the Y knows Scott. And every time he does an in-body, he doesn't like what he sees. And he's like, well, why is that, trainer? Huh? What the hell? I'm like, Scott, you come see me 5 times a week. And yeah, I work your ass off, but I know your eating habits, dude. I know what your eating habits are like, man. Like, he's like, yeah, I eat whatever the fuck I want. What? I'm just
or you got Fred.
Fred's just one of those guys. He's just fun to train.
Yeah, you work me too hard, Sam.
Yeah. We could have a whole episode about that guy. What is the most difficult part of prep for you when prepping for a powerlifting show?
The show.
The
Competition, whatever.
How
I know.
dare you call it the show?
Meat? What, you like
the
meat?
copious amounts of
Yes,
probably ibuprofen.
Yes.
Just because you got to kind of stay within your weight class, and then I don't know about you, but if I take ibuprofen on an empty stomach, I get sick. So I have to eat with it, and then staying within that weight class, or if I'm even close to the edge, I got to reel it back. That sucks too. So
I feel I guess I don't really struggle staying within my weight class really, but I do agree with the ibuprofen thing. Like, you're going like super heavy, like in your sessions, like
I don't know.
constantly. And like, you're doing these heavy squats, bench, deadlift, and like doing maximal effort lifts, multiple times a week. And it takes a toll on you, man. There's a reason I'm taking a break, stepping away for a while from competing. But yeah, I would have to agree with you there. What about what would you say are your best and worst lifts out of the 3 power lifts?
I'd say that's a loaded question. My bench right now is actually my best, because I can't and haven't been for almost a year able to really actively participate in squat and deadlift. So those have suffered because of the knee injury that I had.
That makes sense.
However, when I get back into it, when my knees are doing great and I can start doing stuff again, and I'm actually starting to work on that now, deadlift is going to skyrocket, I think.
Yeah.
Especially with the new goal of getting pull-ups in by the end of summer, having to be able to rep
The
those out.
sandbag carries, picking the sandbag off the
I
floor.
don't want to talk about the sandbag.
That'll help your deadlift though.
I
Stop
believe,
it, Sam. You're
I believe
scaring
it
her.
will.
Like
She's the one signing up for strongman.
yeah. You are?
I thought
Yes.
I told you.
No.
Yes.
In
Hey,
September.
good luck with that. I wish you the best.
Yeah,
I just want
we'll
to try something new.
we'll touch more on that later on in the
I
episode.
hope to
But
see you on E ESPN.
I'd love to stand right next to Brian Schaub. I think
Eddie
I'm
Hall.
going to look like an ant next to that guy.
Craig was telling me like you got to get Eddie Hall someday. Somehow. I'm like, I know.
that would be
but
awesome. Eddie Hall's hilarious.
I love it when he goes to these restaurants where they just trash him like Dick's. You ever been Dick's Last Resort?
Mm-hmm.
He went. I think in the last video he went there, and they're just like throwing shit at him, and I don't remember, but
All I know is Eddie Hall eats a whole cheesecake the night before he competes, right?
Did you actually know that Eddie Hall got his start as an Olympic swimmer?
what the hell?
I
Yes.
could see it.
Yes.
Well, that's like Sam Sulek too. He used to be a diver.
Sam Sulek is like a different breed.
I think
I-
I would
I'm so-
classify
I'm
Eddie
sup-
Hall as a different breed as well.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he wasn't a football player though.
Yeah,
He was a diver.
he looked like he was a nerd in high school, and then it's like the one day
He's like that.
I'm gonna get bumped.
Oh yeah, 'cause
buff and pumped.
he talks about how he likes video games and anime and stuff.
Yeah,
And then also you brought up like your rehab and like getting that hip mobility back and working on your knees and stuff. And shout out to Lane
Mhm.
for coaching you and putting you through all that, because he's been super beneficial and super influential for you.
Absolutely.
So yeah, obviously right now bench is your best lift,
Mhm.
but like all time, what would you say like is your best lift like in a meet?
Oh, deadlift. Yeah.
Deadlift.
Deadlift with squat being a close
Quass.
Croissant.
Yeah.
I like to power lift. I do quass.
Yeah.
I do quass, bench, and deadlift,
So
and it pumps up my muscles.
So we're talking about all this meat stuff, not like the edible food.
Not like beef
What-
meat.
What is your favorite way to unwind after a meet? Like, what do you do like after a long
Texas
meet?
Roadhouse.
Yeah, meat. Meat.
Yeah.
Or like
Big
at,
ol'
like at
steak.
home, like when you get home and you finally, for the rest of the week, what do you do? Like rest your body? Do you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sleep is huge.
Yep.
Taking at least 5 days away from a barbell, if not all weights altogether.
Mhm.
That's incredibly hard for me to
Yeah.
do. I think for a lot of people probably too, but yeah, you gotta let that deload happen. A
Mhm.
deload pre-meet and a deload post-meet
Yeah.
is crucial.
I'll say the deload pre-meet is obviously you're doing more than the deload post-meet though.
Yeah.
Like deload post-meet is like a lot less like taxing on the body.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you enjoy most about personal training?
I still have clients that I've added to social media that not only can I continue to boost them when they make posts about their current successes, but that they still kind of boost me up, and just creating those connections with people, seeing them succeed in some of the things that they wanted to succeed in,
Mhm.
and being able to support them in that's
Yeah.
I don't know, making connections pretty cool.
Just impacting their life, like having a positive impact on someone's life.
Yeah.
And like you literally change that person's life
Mhm.
for the better.
Mhm.
And that's awesome. What do you dislike the most? We kind of talked about it already. Clients that don't adhere to the program, clients that aren't as coachable, but what else would you say that you would dislike about it?
Yeah, I don't know. Outside of the clients that just wonder why, and they kind of want to use me as the scapegoat to why they're not finding that success. That would be my biggest
Mhm.
dislike. And if you need a scapegoat, sure, I'll be that guy. But
Right.
at the end of the day,
Noted.
yeah, at the end of the day,
Right.
though, I mean, it's not me standing in front of your stove or your
Yeah.
microwave,
Yeah.
So
And the thing-
that's the hardest part. And then to not deal with, but like listen to them, you know, have this heartbreak because they want to lose weight or they want to get stronger and then they're not getting that.
Yeah.
And you just kind of want to.
So it's like sort of
It's
like,
your fault.
Whoa, buddy. So it's like kind of like plateauing is what they would call it.
Or not even like
not even getting to the plateau.
Yeah.
Some they think that they're working so hard and they might well be, but if you're only working that hard
It'd
for
just be
30 minutes every
mental
7
thing.
days,
Right.
Yeah. The
you're
mental
wasting
plateau,
your time.
really. That's what I would call it, is a mental plateau.
a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, a mental flatline, mental plateau, whatever you want to call it.
And it's discouraging when they say like they want to quit and stuff when really that's the absolute worst thing they could do.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
like, okay, yeah, you're not seeing any progress right now. Well, what makes you think quitting is going to make your situation any better? Like,
That
you're just
is-
going to get worse.
That is, it's my new like go-to phrase is progress no matter how small. So
Yeah.
if you have to start with that half an hour a week, just do that. Just know that that's not the end of the line. We have to keep
Right.
going past
Some
that.
people
Right.
complain about the money, like spending, and something that I tell people, well, something that I've actually kind of become more, something I just tell people, something I've kind of heard and learned is fitness. Money you spend on fitness is an investment, not an expense.
Correct.
So
Yeah. I think we're at the point of, you know, a gym is going to cost a lot of money. So we're at that point. Just accept it, you know,
right.
or, you know, well, I'm going to follow up with that one is,
Let's go to Planet Fitness.
yeah, you get free pizza. What's a lesson from your job that you have? What's a lesson what is one lesson your job has taught you that you think anyone should learn at some point in their life?
Patience. Not only do I have to incorporate that into my own workouts, but as a trainer too, patience.
Yeah.
It's something that a decade ago I was not patient at all. I'm not, and even now my husband would probably laugh at me saying that I'm patient
know he
because
would. I think we
I'm
know
really
he would.
not. But I'm hands down 10 times more patient than I ever was. Because in order to see that success, you have to be patient, trust yourself, trust the process that you're putting yourself through, and just be patient. It'll
Patient
come.
persistence.
Well, it's just like last night I was telling you, like I didn't do much because I was overthinking. So it's like, what can I do to make this better? What that better? Or like with the podcast, like what can I do to get the next step? Or what can, you know, it's just patience. Everything takes time to build.
It's something that any driven person deals with whatever it is in their life. But at the end of the day, like you guys said, it's patience, and you got to just, you got to prioritize your own sanity. You got to make sure you have time to just kind of step away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe a decade ago or so, I ran into the phrase, God does not just give you what you ask for, but he gives you the opportunity to earn what you ask for.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
so for me,
exactly.
asking for patience, this whole process is a lesson in patience.
Yeah. Who are your favorite types of clients to work with? If you had to pick one type of client, like whether it's weight loss, seniors, you know, power lifter. Well, obviously it's power lifters. I'm not excluding power lifters, but like athletes, you know, what would you be your favorite type of client to work with?
Shucks and see, I was going to say my answer was humorous. I like the humorous ones.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah. The ones you can actually like break the ice with and become friends with.
Yeah. I mean, I got a client right now that, God, every time it's time for Bulgarian split squats, he's, I hate you. I hate you. I hate these. I hate you. In every rep.
Yeah.
And it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. So
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, you can hate me for half an hour a day. That's fine.
Yeah.
Or an hour a day. I mean, depending on how long your sessions are. I like those.
Fuck
Yep.
'em.
No, I mean,
Fuck 'em.
but I mean, they say
That's my
it.
job.
They say, yeah, that's what they're paying for. And
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately they're going to thank you, you know?
What advice do you have for individuals aspiring to enter in your field of career?
be ready to help people and be patient. I mean,
Yeah.
that's about it. Cause I mean, even being patient in that respect with the clients who are frustrated. I mean, not to pick on him too much, but Scott, I mean, you've had him for how many years?
Yeah.
You just gotta be patient.
Yeah. And it's not to say he hasn't seen any progress, because he has. It's just been a lot slower than it should be because he doesn't know how to put the fork down.
Yeah, progress is progress, no matter how small.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't know how to put the fork down.
I'm
That's
not
my-
calling out. I'm
I
calling
know.
out Scott. I'm not even calling you out.
No,
right
I
now.
know. I just like to make jokes about myself. You know me.
But
Well, you know what? If you put a bowl of pasta in front of me, I ain't putting that fork down either. So
I mean, we can go to Spaghetti Works like last time in a limo.
I don't know
After,
how I feel about Spaghetti Works right now.
after the Omaha beef game.
Yeah, that was a terrible game.
So you're also the strength and conditioning / powerlifting coach at Lutheran High. How have your experiences been there?
You know, I was really nervous the very first time I took on a set of clients. That was three clients. I was very anxious about how I was going to handle 3 people in room 5 at the Y. And then when Lutheran High calls and they need a strength and conditioning coach, I've got way more than 3 kids
Yeah.
up in that weight room.
Surprise.
So yeah, you really got to figure out what you're going to do. You have to be able to tailor make it a little bit, but then also it's I don't know how to phrase it. Like very cookie cutter, because
One size fits all, kinda.
all of these sports need some of the same things, and then some of these sports need different things. And going to that coaches conference in February, I have nothing but good things to say. I've learned so much about how to incorporate
that was a great opportunity
agilities.
for you.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I learned so much from those people, and I can't wait to go again next year.
Yeah, you should see if I can come along, because I would love to go something like that.
I bet you would.
Yeah, because those are some like some really like well-renowned like strength coaches there, and like coaches of other sports, right? Like football coaches and stuff. Or is it mostly strength coaches?
They were all mostly strength coaches. That were the speakers. They had all of the speakers said, if you are the football coach and the strength coach, stop it, because you should have a separate strength coach. You cannot possibly balance. It takes over 40 hours to put together a really good program for a sport.
Mm-hmm.
And then to sit there and have 4 different sports or 8 different, however many groups that you're training, have all of those. You can't do it. You can't. No. And I've never been a football coach, but I'm assuming that that's a very hefty task to take on as well.
Yeah. That's the thing, is you can't balance all the responsibilities of being a football coach and also, and creating the offense, the defense, practice, everything, getting ready for games, and the whole entire strength program and conditioning program. Like that's 2 separate things.
It is. And that's not to say it can't be done. It was just the biggest emphasis that these speakers made was, if you have a wife and you have kids, because let's be honest, it was mostly men in that room.
Right.
If you got a wife and you got kids at home, don't try and balance both, because those people at home are waiting for you.
Yep.
So
what do you enjoy and dislike the most about being the strength coach over there? What do you enjoy the most? What do you dislike the most?
I love working with kids.
Yeah.
I really do. I think they're hilarious. With some of them are just funny, and some of them are, come up to me in the middle of the school day. Hey, can I skip practice tomorrow? And I'm just like, where do you get the nerve, bud? To be 15 again and just
imagine doing that
care.
in high school,
Oh,
and
man,
just
that'd be
going up
nice.
to Coach Olson in the hallway and be like, "Can I skip practice today?" You'd
Yeah,
be
say,
like,
say
you would just,
goodbye to your equipment.
yeah, like you're not on the team anymore. All right.
See ya, fucker.
It's just, it's funny. Like I feel like they're just comfortable with you though too. Like they feel comfortable enough to just come up to you and ask you that.
He clearly felt comfortable enough to say that to me. I was baffled that I could never have said that to my high school coaches and have them be like,
never.
"Oh yeah, what you just gonna be sick tomorrow? That's fine." Like, no,
Right.
no, come on, man.
I think
Show
it's
up.
just because you relate to the kids though too.
I could believe that.
Yeah.
I could believe that.
All your SpongeBob memes.
I do have a couple hanging up in the weight room. Actually,
of course you do.
there's the one that I have right now that's printed and hanging is that scene from SpongeBob where he's ripped his pants. He's laying on the beach and he goes, I need, and instead of a tailor, the line that's written there says, I need you to lift in season.
That's actually really good. What do you dislike the most?
Getting up at 5 a.m.
Oh,
I am. I am much less of a morning person than I make it out to be. I'm a morning person by force, not by choice.
Right.
But I can do it.
Yeah.
Everything else I love about it. It's just that when that alarm goes off at 5, I'm like,
Does anything frustrate you? Like if kids actually do miss practice or if they're going off program, is that kind of a dislike or a frustration?
Yes. And the kids who consistently, let their butt come off the bench when they're benching. And then they want to go up and weight. And it's like, you should really get your form down before you throw some more weight. I don't care what the barbell looks like and how much is on there if you're not doing it right.
No.
It's that ego they have.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I use the phrase check your ego at the door.
Yeah.
Because I can't.
Yep.
I hate people with big egos sometimes. Like, I mean, I know Sam and we can have some big egos, but I feel like now it's getting worse.
It is. And, some of these kids are like, I want to do the powerlifting this season. It's like, that's fine. But if you can't squat to depth, you can't keep your heels on the ground, you can't keep your butt on the bench, they don't care. Those judges don't care. It doesn't count.
Right.
Red light.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, do you think like high school should really start doing more of these powerlifting teams? Do you think the NSAA should make it more of like a high school sport?
I sure would love to see that. However, I would love to see that with somebody as a strength coach taking care of it, not just
random Joe Schmo coach.
Yeah, you got to have
the
someone
science teacher.
When you got kids, when you got kids pulling 400 or 500 pounds off the ground because they're that big and they're that strong and they can do it, but you see their backs just bent over.
Right.
These kids are 14, 15 with 70 to 80 years of their life in front of them, you hope. And if they mess it up now, hard pass.
That's what kind of separates us from different sports because it's so intricate. Like, you might have the strength to pick up that weight, but if your form's not right, if you're not doing things the proper way and you don't have a coach or someone to show you that knows it, that to show you those things, you could totally mess up your body. And, you really need an actual like personal trainer or a strength coach to coach something like that and not, the science teacher or the math teacher just plugged in there, be like, okay, like
add
here
this
you go.
number to this number, get the squat number.
Well, see, one of the things that we learned at this coaches clinic in February this year was that they're seeing it statistically, Nebraska specifically is seeing a rise in lower back injuries, and the lower back injury is quote unquote the new ACL tear. For high school students. And I think maybe it has a lot to do with this Instagram thing. Everybody on the Instagram is doing
and
gym stuff. And,
ego too.
And then they don't leave their ego at the door. So.
Well, they're doing a bunch of fancy, stupid exercises that aren't needed either on Instagram.
That's a whole story all by itself.
Right.
So I think one of my last questions, because I pretty much asked all like questions and we had similar ones I noticed. Yeah. Is what kind of a legacy or impact do you hope to leave behind through your work and contributions?
When I first started, I would say that the answer would have been just to help as many people as I possibly can reach the goal that I have reached, which was, I put on over 110 pounds when I got pregnant and had my daughter, and then I lost all of it. I made sure that I made it back to pre-baby weight, and then I put some of it back on as muscle. Mm-hmm. There's a little fat included in that, but that's neither here nor there. But now, I don't know. I would like to kind of continue pursuing this coaching thing. Going to that coaches conference, seeing these coaches talk about this is a kid that I had in my high school that went on to be WNBA. This is a kid that I had that moved on to this. That's so cool that they're able to say that. That's kind of cool too. So
it's kind of like how we say to each other, we're just players that we played in high school that have made it to the next level.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like Seattle Seahawk tight end Noah Fant. I played him in high school.
Mm-hmm.
His team was trash, but we played him.
Yeah. So besides the powerlifting team at Lutheran High, what is your other favorite team to work with there? Like group of athletes? What is it? The football team, basketball, volleyball?
That's kind of tough. I don't want to show any bias, but
You're on record.
I know, I will say the boys basketball team up there and their coach Kenny Blank, he's absolutely fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
His season did amazingly well this last year. And they lifted all throughout the season. And I can't say that for the other sports programs.
The football team didn't lift in season?
If they did, it wasn't with me.
Huh.
So I can't answer that.
We always had to lift in season in football. Like, yeah, you're not.
That's a hurt.
You're
right
not
there.
maxing out and stuff, but you're still just maintaining. You're lifting to maintain in season, but you're still lifting.
I certainly hope to see that change this year as the football coach is now participating more, lifting more in the mornings with the kids as well.
Yeah.
So I really intend to see a lot of the sports at Lutheran High just excel this year with
That'd be awesome.
all the new stuff that they're picking up and learning. I mean, we're really hammering home on knowledge about like the type 2 muscle fibers and how they react to your long sprints, short sprints, deceleration, stuff like that. That's supposed to really help you on the field and on the court. Yeah. So
what do you enjoy most about being a powerlifting coach specifically?
These kids are so excited to pick up big numbers.
Yeah.
These kids are so excited. And they'll come find me at the Y and they'll be like, oh, I lifted today and I got this number and it was so cool. And I'm like, I wish I had seen it. And you know, because they're so excited about it. And this last year we had a kid that picked up a quite a sizable scholarship to go to Concordia, because Concordia has now officially started the powerlifting team that you can get a scholarship for. And I believe he is full ride because of an academic that went along with it. Yeah.
We've had that conversation before. That it's growing. Like they're literally giving out scholarships for powerlifting now, and I wish they had that. I
mean, if they give it out for gaming, why not?
I mean, I wish it was more of a thing back when I was first getting into sports and lifting weights, because I totally would have done it growing up. I didn't learn about it till really after high school.
I don't know, because like I kind of want to say I would do that over football, but I know I would. But if it was more of a winter sport, then yeah.
Right. Yeah. Honestly,
that would help. That would have helped the team so much.
Oh yeah,
it's a winter sport.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, I was definitely.
And it's a 2-sport that you're a 2-sport athlete, and then coaches would never been on you.
Well, I did track instead.
For anyone though, I'm not trying to point you out.
No, I know.
I didn't believe in that shit.
That's really cool though. What's his name again? That kid?
Savion Ralph.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the one. He had like a massive deadlift, didn't he?
He hit an 80-pound PR, I believe, at the last meet that we went to.
Yeah.
880. That's impressive.
I'm excited to coach a little bit this summer too and see what my guys can put up. So it's fun. It's fun being involved in the sport still at a competition, but not having like that pressure of like competing, because there's a lot of pressure that goes into that. No matter how experienced you are, you get the butterflies. When you're coaching, it's fun to watch.
There's one thing.
Hype up your athletes and stuff like that. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, there's one thing I'm surprised we haven't really talked about is getting the custom singlet and shirts like how everyone else does. Like we could definitely rock out like custom team shirts or something.
Totally.
We can even put Zach's Agent Life Media on them and everything like that.
Yeah.
I think it'd be good for everybody.
Black and red.
And at this point, anything would look better than the Inzer.
Right. You gotta get you a Iron Rebel black and red singlet like the one I had.
Let's just say I know how to Photoshop very well, so I can make some badass shit.
All right. Stepping away up from powerlifting a little bit, you obviously have a strongman competition coming up in September that you've recently started training for. What motivated or inspired you to do this originally?
I just kind of want to, the itch to compete is still there, but I can't get low enough right now on my squats with my knees the way that they are. And I could probably get there to that point by September, but I don't really want to rush that recovery process either.
Yeah, there's no point.
Yeah, I just want to try something new. I don't know how seriously I'm going to take it. I'm definitely training seriously because I don't want to look like an absolute buffoon, but I want to try something new.
Try it for fun. Have fun with it.
And if you like it, just keep training for it.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I don't see myself picking up big rocks in the future.
I
am strong with myself.
I don't know.
On that, kind of describe strongman to us, because how I describe strongman to people is it's basically if powerlifting and CrossFit had a baby.
I would honestly, that's kind of.
But
accurate.
I want to hear it more from you because you've actually kind of researched this and delved into it a little deeper.
It's definitely for the strongest of the strong. You're looking at you can sign up for either a novice or an open. And I think there's also a master's division, but then your weight classes are divided into, we get 3 groups. Women get 2 if you're a novice, and it's minus 165 and plus 165. So you're either lightweight or heavyweight on that. And so they give you preset numbers for a lot of their things, and you either pick it up or you don't.
Yeah.
And to have those preset numbers that you have to hit, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
I mean, and without having quite the right equipment, I think even at the Y, that for some of this stuff, like the farmers holds, you have to get pretty innovative with how you're going to train for that kind of stuff. And you got to be ready for it. And I like I said, those pre put in numbers that you have to do they make your goal for you, and you just better well make it to that goal before that.
That's
day.
a lot different than powerlifting is just show up and do what you can, you know, and that's that. But strongman, you have to hit that minimum goal, or else you get DQ'd basically.
I haven't looked that far into it. I would assume that you get DQ'd.
Right. I don't know what you get executed. No.
I mean, you either get DQ'd or you get like last place. I really don't know. Like I said, I really was just kind of doing this one for fun to see what it's all about.
Yeah. So you're not too far into it right now, but how's the training process going for you? On
some lifts, great. On others, terrible. I think, what did I make it today? Maybe 5 feet in total. Every 5 feet, I would drop the sandbag and pick it back up again.
That one was fun though. I had fun with that one.
That was a lot more fun. The last time I tried it when I practiced with.
Yeah, it's because the bag was wet.
Yeah, well,
it was wet.
I mean, it was kind of slippery.
Yeah,
but
it was. No, I mean, I'm not. I'm not making fun of you.
If that's an adversity that I have to come over or like overcome on the day.
Water better.
You guys are funny.
I'm all right. I'm only fine on the weekends.
So, are there any other fitness related certifications you're shooting for in the near future or further down the road?
Right now, I'm just trying to get my CEUs so I can recertify. But
what's a CEU?
Continuing education.
Oh, couldn't figure that one out myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every 2 years, you have to recertify.
It's like a CDL, obviously.
Yeah. I kind of waited too long to sign up for anything new before that expires. Yeah. So I just got to take the basic CEUs.
Personal
right
trainer
now,
is the most important one.
Yeah. I've been thinking about getting into the strength certified strength coach one off of NCSF. But the option for me to finish out my 4-year degree in exercise science is always there too. And I really don't know. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do. So I've made 0 steps either direction. I'm still kind of in the decision-making process.
Good job. We're proud of you.
That's all right. Yeah.
You know, I like to give you shit.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the upcoming powerlifting competitions we're going to be running at the Y this summer?
Pretty excited. I'm pretty excited. You know, taking those kids to a powerlifting meet that was held by a local high school this last year. I've got a bit of know-how, I guess I'm going to say, in how I wouldn't want to run things I would want to avoid, how long each thing is probably going to take. I kind of have an idea of what I'm looking at. But I'm really excited to have both of us, dip our toes in the
Yeah.
water of running something like
Yeah.
that. I'm really
That's why,
excited
I mean,
for that.
You've kind of had that experience, and that's kind of why you've kind of been my go-to person for a lot of this stuff. I'm really excited too. So this should be fun. Kale, you got anything you want to ask?
No.
So what's the best way for listeners to reach out if they have any questions or comments to you?
Oh, you just reach me either social media. My Instagram is not private, so you can freely message me on there, or you can find me at the Y.
Very nice.
What's a practical first step for the audience that they can take to explore the topic we discussed today, like the stuff we talked about?
What do you mean?
Like, what would be a good first step for them to
getting into fitness or
get into getting their personal training cert, getting into powerlifting, getting into the gym, getting into whatever it may be?
As a career, just start asking questions. If you're interested in getting started into you want to start your fitness journey, honestly, come find one of us at the Y. That was the biggest thing I dragged my feet on. I didn't want to do it when we moved back to Norfolk, because I had looked at the prices of what it would cost in Omaha, and I was absolutely terrified. And Norfolk, they don't cost hardly as much at all. And I was doing arm day and then leg day and then arm day. I had no idea that chest and back was like a thing when I was lifting before.
Or push pull.
Yeah, like push pull. I had no idea that there were different muscle groups like that.
Yep.
That I was supposed to be training as well, and what the purpose was behind all of it. So if you just get some direction, and then as far as the fitness part of it goes, or not the fitness, but the nutrition side of it goes, the next time you go grocery shopping, just have a little bit of discipline, and then you're stuck with what's ever in the house, and that's kind of a
cosmic brownie.
That's my crack around here. I mean, what? Well, I've got pretty much nothing other than, what message or advice would you like to give, or what message or advice would you like to convey to listeners as we wrap up today's episode?
like convoy. He's still thinking about the trucks. You know what? I'm gonna sign off with the weight room belongs to everybody, not just men.
Amen.
Not just women. We should all be all in there.
Amen.
Yep.
Amen.
Anything else, guys? Or?
That's it.
All right. Don't forget to follow us on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Gaming channel is TNT Boys Gaming. Sam, you got any other thing else we got to plug? I can't remember, but
all the social medias.
Pretty
And
much
then
it.
did you bring up Agent Life?
Oh yeah, don't forget to follow Agent Life Media.
Come on now.
Sorry.
Listen to their podcast, Touching Base,
Useless Assumptions, Talking Dirt. Also, all great podcasts.
Yeah.
Zach is doing a great job making sure that we're all taken care of and everything. So
yeah,
give Agent Life Media a
Been
wow.
great.
I butchered that. I am butchering everything. I don't know why.
Just gotta take some time and just think about what you're gonna say once in a while.
Okay, peace out. Bye.
Okay, peace out. Bye.